Good morning, grade 6, and welcome to another English lesson. I hope everybody's awake and excited for the lesson we will be doing today. So, let's get started. So, today's lesson will be on subject and predicate. So, we'll be doing language practice today, right? So what I would like you to do is please open up your English textbooks on page 76. We have all the content over there and I will go through each and every single definition. Right? So everybody get out to page 76. Okay, so what is a subject? A subject says who or what is doing the action in the sentence, right? To find the subject, we need to first find the verb, then ask who or what did the verb, right? So, for example, if we ask the question, who ate the chocolate? The answer would be the woman. So, the woman is the subject of the sentence, right? It's telling us who or what the sentence is about, right? So the sentence is about the woman who ate the chocolate. So once again, a subject says who or what is doing the action in the sentence, right? Here are some more examples of subject. The sentence reads, the pasta and salad were delicious. So this sentence is about pasta and the salad being, were. So it tells us what, right? So in the sentence, it tells us what was delicious. And what was delicious was the pasta and the salad. The next sentence, Catherine read a book. So this sentence is about Catherine reading. And it tells us who, right? So remember, a subject tells us who or what in the sentence, right? Let's just go over that again. A subject says who or what is doing the action in the sentence. Okay. So, what is a predicate? This is the rest of the sentence and says what is done. A predicate always contains a verb. So, for example, the woman, which we know is the subject of the sentence, she ate the chocolate. And the chocolate is the predicate because it's the rest of the sentence. And it says what is being done. So the woman is eating the chocolate. It's an action. We know verb is an action. So it's what she is doing. So a predicate can be divided into a verb and an object, right? For example, ate in the sentence is the verb, right? It's the action, what she is doing. And the chocolate is the object, right? An object is something that we can physically touch and see, right? So a chocolate you can see and you can touch it, and it's an object, right? So in a sentence, when you use predicates, they can be verbs and objects, right? So let's look at some examples of predicates. Taryn laughed loudly at the joke. So this sentence is about Taryn laughing. It tells us what the subject, which we know is Taryn, does, right? So it's explaining what action she is doing, right? And that's a predicate. Tells us what the subject is, has, or does, right? Sean spoke. Here, the predicate is a single word, the verb spoke. So it tells us what Sean has done, right? So remember in the previous slide, we said that a predicate can be divided into a verb and an object. So in this sentence, there is only one single word which is a predicate, and that's a verb. And spoke is the past tense of speak. And when you speak, it's an action that you're doing, right? A verb, that's a verb. So the predicate is a single word in the sentence, right? It tells us what Sean, which Sean is the subject, what he's doing, right? And what he's doing is he spoke. I hope everybody understands it and is still following me. Okay, so like I said, the predicate can be divided into a verb or an object. So what is an object? So the object says who or what is being acted upon. To find the object, ask who or what after the verb. For example, the woman ate what? The chocolate, right? And like I said in the previous slide, the chocolate is the object. So we're asking what the woman, and we know the woman is a subject, what she ate, and the action is ate, and the object is the chocolate. Now, one thing that's important to note is not all predicates contain an object, right? For example, John sang quietly. The word quietly is an adverb which tells us how John sang. It does not tell us what he sang. So there is no object in the sentence, right? So remember, not all sentences that has a predicate contains an object, right? Sometimes there's only a predicate or only a verb that's in a sentence. Doesn't always mean there has to be an object as well. Okay, so here we have some examples, right? So it says a subject. Let's do the first one. Says a musician, and the predicate, which is the action, played, right? So the talented musician played the violin, right? So it shows you that the subject is underlined, which we know is musician. That's who is the musician. And the predicate is circled, which tells us played, which is the action, right? So in the sentence we have a subject and a predicate, and if you look in there's also an object, right? And the object is the violin. So in the sentence we have a subject, a predicate, and the object, because a violin is a physical object which you can touch, right? So you can read through the rest of those as well. That's just some examples of sentences with both subject and predicate in it, and some objects as well. Okay, so on page 77, the next page is your activity. So read through that in your textbook. I'm sure you can do that on your own, right? So that activity on page 77 will be your homework. As usual, you know the drill. Write the heading, date, page number, and draw a line. What I want you to do is please write and copy all the definitions and examples from the slides in your book. Right? So I want you to write the definition of a subject, a predicate, an object, and the definition, and the examples. Copy it as I wrote it in my slide in your book. Please highlight and use different colors like I use in my slide, so that you can identify what's the definition and what the examples are. And after you've done that, you then do the activity that's on page 77 in your English workbook, right? So enjoy your homework, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.